Recording.
Alright, so for an easy way to make sure stuff is on grain when you're doing strip cutting, first grab a selvage edge in each hand for your fabric and shake it out a little bit so it's pretty smooth. Then go ahead and fold it in half. Well, you slide one of your fingers along to make sure that you're keeping it aligned. Then look along the selvage edge and line the selvages up until they're parallel to each other. Now this might not be the entire length of the fabric because sometimes fabric's a little on a warp, and it may mean that the edges are off a little bit, but selvages can also end up a little wavy, so just give it kind of an eyeball to make sure it's pretty close. So this looks like it's parallel up to about here or so. And that will give me several strips, so I'm going to go ahead and call that good. Then I'm going to lay it carefully on my cutting mat, and when I cut, smooth it down. And when I cut, I'm going to take my cutting mat and make sure one of my ruler lines is lined up with the folded edge, not with the selvage, not with the cut edge, but with the folded edge. I'm going to make sure that I'm covering all of this cut area since it was off by a little bit, and I'm not quite, so I'm going to shift this over. Making sure that my ruler line is staying along the fold. Now that looks much better. So then I'm going to trim off the uneven edge using a spider crawl to get my hand down the ruler. Peel off the excess fabric. Oops, a little bit got caught. Then I'm going to go around to the other side and start cutting my strips. I'm going to measure the amount I want, and as I cut, I'm just going to make sure again that my ruler is staying aligned with the fold, and that should also leave a vertical measuring mark aligned with the edge you just trimmed. If it starts getting off one direction or another, then that's when it's time to pick up the fabric and realign the selvages to make sure you're cutting on grain. So I'm just going to get my first strip done. And there we go.